What's up, stream? So tonight we're out in the shed playing with some e-waste, and we thought we'd just do a stream. Got a few bits and pieces I want to pull apart, including a Cisco switch, a Cisco access point. I'll show you inside a few bits and pieces that I have pulled apart, and just have a chat with some people. So yeah, come on down, grab a beer. While we're waiting for people to turn up, go and grab a beer, coffee, whatever floats your boat. That's pretty good. Battery for our disassembly screwdriver. Yeah, like I say, got this Cisco. It's a Cisco AirLap. It's an access point. You plug Ethernet in, 48 volts DC in, and you end up with internet off a cabled service. Yeah, they commonly use these in big installs like schools, workplaces, things like that. I've already pulled a few of the screws out for me. Drop a g'day in the chat if you turn up. Yeah, this one came from a school. They've already had it open. Apparently they're doing a mass upgrade. Oh, it's all aluminium. Heaps of thermal pad things there. Does anyone know if they're actually reusable? Still nice and soft and sticky. Just out of interest's sake, like, because I pull so much e-waste apart, there's a chance, I guess, isn't there? So that's, aside from a few rubber, looks like kettles do. They're hard. Not sure what these are. Yeah, you can reuse those pads. Station 240, g'day mate. I swear some of my regular YouTube viewers are actually have the notifications turned on because things like streams pop up. So yeah, that's, aside from a few of these, which we'll just have to belt out with maybe a pin punch or something. I'll check and see if they're magnetic. If they're not magnetic, they can probably stay there. Ooh. When I say check if they're magnetic, hard drive magnets. If you know, you know. And they are, they're magnetic. So those 4 steel beads we've got to bash out of there. That's a good piece of cast aluminium after that. What have we got on the insides? Reasonably cool board. Plugs in. It does plug in. It's like a slot card, see? For a computer. Another thermal jelly pad. Someone correct me, I reckon they're called heat transfer pads. So we end up with a couple of gold plated pin sockets for our network, micro switch, and what do you call that? Probably a mid-grade board. Got a lot on it. I'd call that a mid-grade board. So yeah, these are probably worth pulling apart if they give me a quantity of them. I think he said he's got 50 or 80 of them or something. So that's cool. These are really well down on the board. I wonder if there's anything underneath you can see. No, they're pretty tight. Look like they're flashed on the corners of the boards there. Anyway, put that in the not sure pile. How do we get that face off? This is like a plastic coating on the that way, I reckon. Oh, not in frame now. Now you can see what I mean. Oh wow, that's really brittle. Now, if you were to say that had been left in the sun, I think that's a gross understatement. That's horrible. So obviously there's some kind of signal emitters. That will be good enough to be clean cast. My scrap guy. Yeah, that's they will be worth pulling apart. A bit of a chunk of aluminium there. And a mid-grade board. If I sound a little bit like in pain, I carrying on like an adult child on a playground with my daughter and pulled some muscles in my chest somewhere, I think. So yeah, it's not feeling real crash hot. That's a speaker module out of a server. We have these big Mac Daddies of power supply units out of a server today. And just some of the specs. 5 volts, 35 amps. 12 volts, 52 amps. And just some USB power. 712 watts max out of this power supply. Pretty beefy. Oh, it had 2 of these. 60 amp max for 10 peak, 10 m second. No, so it's peak for milliseconds. That's a short time factor. The reason I like them, it's a nice gold pins for our gold pin recovery. Quite a serious board on the inside. Switch. Big fan. Haven't fired one up to see what it sounds like, but most of them sound like a plane taking off at high altitude. Stupid YouTube thing keeps popping up, telling me to abide by community guidelines. I'd hate to break the community guidelines. That'd just be horrific. Don't know how anyone would cope. Alright, we need a small... Oh, magnets. Let's open the top of this power supply and have a look inside. The other server that I got from my IT buddy, a bit of an eBay pickup I did the other day for him. It was a an i3 powered, fairly decent server. It's got 8 hard drive bays, so I've populated a bunch of those with all the old hard drives that I had laying around and formatted them. So I got about 5 terabytes in there at the moment. Got a few multi-terabyte drives laying around, a couple of 3s, I think. I'm going to play with that and have a like a network server, so we can just dump files on. I'm gonna try and find a graphics card to go in it. I don't know how that'll go. Little CPU seems to be good. Only 2 core, but it's 2 core at like 3.4 gigahertz. Lots deal. 2 huge fans. They're monsters. Heaps of aluminium. Let's have a look on the internet to see if these are a saleable item before I ruin them, because that's a much smarter option. There's a high potential they are. I pulled apart a couple of G5 HP Pro Reliant servers. Need to organise my e-waste bench a lot better, but let's pull this switch apart. I don't know if any of you watch E-Waste Ben, but E-Waste Ben loves switches. Cisco's like a naughty word to E-Waste Ben. He thinks it's the best. Let's open her up. I like these. Believe it or not, they're really good for mounting solar panels. E-waste is about recycling. What's even better than recycling? Reusing. If you can use something for something else, it means you don't have to melt it down, don't have to go through the process again. Just go for it. Like, that's a good solid little bit of steel bracket. You're going to get nothing for it at the scrapyard. Like, you'd need hundreds of them to get any money. But yet we can use them for something. Like mounting solar panels on a roof. Flat blades. Who has flat blades on computer equipment? I can't understand why flat blades are a thing. I upgraded to one of these Kangoo driver bits for the end of this. I was looking at brushless ones of these at Total Tools the other day too. See what happens when this one dies. I thought flat blades were such dead tech. I got 3 of these, so interesting to see what they're like inside. I should also check and see whether these are a saleable thing. I imagine if the IT department's got rid of them, they're probably not. They tend to hang on to stuff that works, because if it works, it works. Oh yeah. Whoa, power supply unit. Okay, so we've got a power supply here. What's the power supply say? 12 volts, 11 amps, 50 volts, 7.8 amps. That's an odd voltage set. .48 volts, 7.8 amps. Seems that board is like it is all in one piece. I'll hang on to that for the time being. I had something 48 volt the other day. I can't remember what it was that I wanted to do with 48 volts. Might have been induction heater based. Oh, we've got an epic fan. We're going to get that out and see if that's high voltage or low voltage. I sincerely hope that that's 12 volt, because that's a beauty. Can you see that? Doesn't look that big, but it's a beast. Get the cables to connect to PSU too. Thinking. Good thinking. Liberate them from the case. Bang them straight back in here so we don't lose them. Because you know what I'll do? I will lose them. Click them back on there. Where he come from. So now we've got the output cable. Good thing in station 240. That is a cool little power supply because you can just plug it straight in. So this must be so you can piggyback power supplies to units, or maybe put in, like there must be maybe a Cisco UPS kind of thing that goes into the back of these. Not an expert, did not claim to be. Right. Gold pins in there. You need a bazillion of them to make something, but that's my aim, is to get a bazillion of them. Right, yeah. 3 wires. I'm going to say it's 12 volt, and it's got yellow and black. Yellow and black's normally a good sign from the old ATX days. Yellow is your 12 volt positive. You got a black that's normally following it, and then you've got a 5 volt line on the red. Amazing how good side cutters actually undo a little nut or bolt. This one's got spring washers, so they're a little bit of a fight. Getting one done though. See what the numbers on the fan say. Oh, here we go. 12 volts, 10 watts. Oh yeah. It's a nice drum fan. So theoretically I've got 3 of them. And it's good airflow just at that speed. Just a cool flat mount on the backside. They might come in handy. Let's get this board out of this thing, shall we? So, we'll require some kind of Torx bit, too big. That size, Torx bit. Just got a big tray of bits. Oh yeah, you can see. Plastic drum under the bench here. Just a white plastic 20 litre drum. And I just fill that with screws and bolts and all that kind of stuff. And when I go to the scrapyard, I'm weighing in a decent quantity, I just throw them in the bin. Might not seem like much, but this is just a byproduct of what I pull apart. So you've only got to get a few $100 out of it every couple hundred loads over time, and you can pay to replace these kinds of things. Cable, we like cable. Start getting technical here to get the front faceplate off, I reckon. Some small screwdriver action. Two sides, yep. Where all the action is ports wise. It's a bit of nice looking gold in here, guys. Little boards in there everywhere. Should have some high grade connectors in them. Not sure what the point of these ones were. Oh, there's a plug right in the back of there. Don't know what that's for. Just got a box over there, which is like small boards for gold recovery. Like these. Oh, they're pretty. I know it's only flashed on there. It's not that exciting, but it's out of high-grade telecom stuff, so our gold recovery soon will be cool. Fiber module port. Oh, okay, yeah. That's where the fast part comes in. Makes a bit of sense. Wow, these are good. These are good to scrap. That wasn't too bad at all. Rid of the plastic part. Does anybody know a company that either buys or takes plastic? Like obviously in Tasmania it'd be ideal, but I don't see that happening. I really want to be able to recycle plastic and stuff from all this e-waste because, oh wow. These little gold bands. The gold band capacitors, 500F. No, it's not going to be for farad, is it? It'd have to be micro, nano, whatever. That is a nice board. A crystal oscillator. A few heat sinks. Cisco Systems board. Obviously a multi-layer board with copper. Big copper layer in there. So that's quite a good e-waste board. Could be fuses, 500F. Yeah, they definitely got a nice gold colour to them, whatever they are. See, look at that, and it shines off the light. Copper in the board everywhere. That's a board that once I develop a ball mill, that is a board to go in a ball mill, that is. And then across the shaker table, and we're talking. You see, like we've got these plastic channels for the light to go at. Okay, that's that Cisco switch. Ending up with a bit of panel steel there. So out of that thing that had the server power supplies, we got these server boxes that we're going to pull apart next, which are tiny little Phillips drives. Well, that's way too big. Number one, Phillips number one. Ooh, they're going to be sketchy. That is really small. Is what it is. If we strip too many of them, we're going to have to go the rough and ready way and let ourselves in. So, as you see, we've got some network ports and a couple here that I don't really recognise. See what's inside. Straight for the strip. Sick. Nothing better than having tiny screws and then having them tight as well. Bit sets everywhere though, never fear. Have something somewhere. I have a small green Phillips screwdriver somewhere as well. Not sure if it's on this bench. I fried already. I'll just go and see if it's on the main computer bench. That's the one that I fried with. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. It's the one that I fried with the, what do you call it? Induction heater. See how that goes for size. Oh, they were actually way tight for what they are. Tiny screws. So this was a data array. It had 10, 12 drive bays in rows of 3. They're made for small drives though. They were all 2.5-inch drives. Not your normal. Slide out now. There's always like two parts to the opening of something like this. One's getting all the screws out. Two's seeing if it moves after you get all the screws out. That's the hard part. You got to remember, some of these things are high-end, expensive bits of gear. Just because they're in the scrap bin now doesn't mean they're worth a fortune in their day. Try a couple more of these and see if we liberate it. Not yet. Some more in the center. A bit of an odd thing inside this, it actually looks like a battery pack. When you start running out of screws, you start panicking. It's an odd feeling when you start running out of screws and there's not that much movement yet. Well, the obvious ones are done. This looks like a copper I think we're in, boys. There we go. Steel. Look at the gold on that board. Little battery pack. Hey, look like 18650s. Cut that open in a sec. It's cool if they're 18650s. Industrial grade compact flash card. That's interesting. The memory card there. Descriptions. Get him out and see what that does. Intense aluminium heatsink up this end. Big piece of extrusion. So it's got 2 of these boxes on the inside. Appears to be some kind of RAM memory up here. This may be some kind of passively cooled actual mainboard PC kind of thing going on. One thing I'll tell you for free, it's got some gold on her. Which is what we're after. Oh, what I was saying. These copper strips are like, I think they're earthing strips to earth the components to their case. Now they're really thin, like don't get excited. It's like double the thickness of foil maybe. But like that's cool. All copper's good copper. Yes, my screwdriver's got a bend in it from induction heater smashing it. I'm gonna get this part fast as I can for you. I don't want the suspense to do too much. This is the kind of e-waste we all want if you're collecting it. Another copper strip. It looks like the nuts up here on these, we'll call them I/O ports, are hanging onto our board. Get them to undo. Oh, they're not nuts, they're bolts. 1, 2. Where's everyone from? Who have we got on tonight? I think you need the 4-wire PSU. I reckon that might be the 48 volt side. That should keep us safe, I hope. Nothing worse than when they're not super proprietary plugs, but nothing worse than having to doctor things when you could just plug them in, is there? Oh, yeah. That's going on. We've got 4 people watching. Where are we all from? We regulars that like crazy variety of YouTube. Oh, first time you've seen a stream, or obviously Station 240 has been around for years and years. 3 or 4 years, I suppose. This is my 5th year now making YouTube videos, which is insane when you think about it. I sometimes go back and look through my YouTube videos to see what I've been doing and what I've been up to and what I've done with things. Alright, she's free. Now we get to have a good look at it. There's a plastic covering up the top of that board for some reason. Okay, this is, I'll bring it up to the camera. This is a thing of gold striped pinned beauty. Look at these gold pins. There's battery out while we're looking at it. Card out while we're looking at it. 2008. Class 10, so it's not a slow one. I wonder what reads them though. I don't think I'd have anything to plug that into. Exceed CF card. Smart flash. Doesn't say size, I don't think. Didn't see one. Be interesting to see if anyone had a reader for like a CF card nowadays. Oh, straight off that came. That's got some real cool looking connectors there. You see them? They're full of gold inside. I like it when you see the holes in the board. They've all got gold on them. That's a Molshit board. I could sell these to Ben in Melbourne. E-waste Ben. Also, if I wanted to, underneath this heatsink, we've got to see what's underneath this heatsink. Multi-card readers, CF, micro SD, etc. I wonder if it actually has any real capacity, whether it's actually worth having as a flash card, because I've got 3 of them. I doubt it from 2008. Yeah, I don't. They're not going to be like 64 gig or anything stupid, are they? They're only going to be probably 4 gig. Look at this. Spring-loaded heatsink. Count the screws in the bucket. You never know how many screws you end up with in the bucket. see a lot of people do make videos about how they're fast at the one thing that they do. It's been a bit of a craze on like TikTok. Last time I had to buy CF cards from China, they were $5 each or something. Yeah, okay, they're not worth playing with. That's okay. I need to upgrade some of my micro SD cards from the... Oh, look at that for a piece of machined. Beautiful. So that's... Why would you machine a heatsink? That's not cast, that's CNC'd. Tell me if I'm dreaming here. That's CNC'd. It's cut out like that. You can see the machining marks. That is the most beautiful aluminium heatsink I've ever laid my eyes on. Look at all them rows of pins. Yeah, Cisco just flexing on us all with this heatsinks. That is sick. What a piece of gear. Okay. I'll calm down, stop playing with the heatsink. What have we got? 1 gig of RAM. Oh, well, that's a big RAM. Probably was for its day, considering it's only... Oh, that's a server, I suppose. It's a pretty packed little RAM card. Look at how many chips are on that bad boy. They're all thick as. RAM cards go up there. That's what we're talking about. Intel Celeron. So we're going to liberate that bad boy from his socket. Oh, oh, that was a satisfying noise. Oh yeah. I love it when CPUs have got them gold pins. Look at that socket. This is E-Waste gold, boys and girls. That's what we're after. Wonder if they're worth anything special just in scrap value because of their beautiful gold pins. Evidence of their quality. This is one of my favourites. The old Intel 92, 93 model. Look at the gold. Even talk about shadow it. Like I'm getting excited about this one. I wish I could find a heap of these. Vintage PCs would be so nice to be able to get a contract to scrap a heap of them out. That's a cool CPU. Pretty happy with that for a pickup. You look at most of your normal modern ones. What do we got there? AMD Sempron. AMD Athlon. We got pins. Still got some nice gold to them. These are thick. I believe there's a big difference between flashed pins and plated pins. Just through like thousands of dollars worth of technology. Yeah, it's a respected day. So obviously all Intel stuff on the board. I need to open the other one now and see if it's the exact same inside because I kind of need to know. So get the steel off this and mulch this board, run it across a shaker table. That is just a delicious potential for gold recovery. I don't know if I've explained it yet really in a YouTube video, but the reason I'm collecting e-waste now is for gold recovery. And I'm going to do a lot of it myself. Shaker table and ball mill, hammer mill, whatever. Ball mill first because they're cheap and easy to make. Shredder as well. Aluminium. So because I'm gold recovering these myself, I'm going to remove the alloy stuff. You just use a flat blade screwdriver and pry them off. But the use of a shaker table after this has been mulched and pushed through a screen, it's just all go. Let's grab the other one open. See if he's the same deal. Looks like it's exactly the same, so I don't understand why they had like a twin pair in there, if that makes sense. It'll be like a speed run this time. I should be quicker at it, shouldn't I? As long as I don't strip any of these crappy screws. Question for the audience: what do you do with your e-waste? Well, fire some questions at me. I like questions. Oh, this one's gonna be shit. This one's getting done later. Assembled in China, but man, it's got the same thing. You can see this heat sink inside there. Man, they put some effort into building them. What else have I got to pull apart in front of you? I'll just have a look. One thing I got the other day, which was cool, is some real high grade telecom pins. Look at these bad boys. This is some of the strange old hardware that those pins came out of. Now, all I know is that my scrapyard rang me up and said, hey, I've got some stuff with gold on it, come get it. And all I've got to do is take him back the steel. That's all he really cared about. They were just going to go in the light steel pile. I'll end up with a few transformers and stuff. Bit of disassembly. As you can tell, I need a bunch of Phillips number ones. But all these handmade PCBs from old telecom stuff. A few different styles. A few like this, which you got the twin gold fingers, and potentiometers, some kind of decibel switch, plug in, plug out. Yeah, there's a bunch of potentiometers in there, which are very cool looking inside. Very old school, very gold contacty. If you look at that, I think that's all gold contacts. It'd make sense. That is so satisfying. Touch switches have so lost their... looks like it came out of an old telecom exchange. Reckon? I reckon you're right. Looked like it was something that was just recently decommissioned, or at least recently thrown out. So on the speaker. But same thing, look at the gold pins on these things. Speaker, on off and potentiometer. Put a little speaker in there, it's been there forever. Speaker input. There's nothing much on the PCBs, but we're here for the gold in these babies. These are some of the others. Good old days, yeah man. The good old days are right back when stuff was built out of good shit. No idea what this does. A lot of the electronics are in these little tin cans that are soldered up. See if we can get into one, show you. I opened a few at the scrapyard just by punching holes in them. Because I thought if I was going to make some kind of horrific mercury leak or something, I should probably do it not at my place. Huh? Nah, joking. That's just, I wanted to know if it was worth picking up a pile of them. I tried the heat gun on a couple of these, thinking it was solder or whatever. Trying to melt a side out. isn't all that easy. Mercury would be probably alright as if it was in like a glass vial or something. You could use an appropriate fume cabinet and pull it out, and it's probably worth good money, I'd imagine. There's something big and copper in there. It's like the PCB's in there, like a handmade PCB that gets sealed in a vacuum or something. Maybe the cans are for vacuum. Where am I situated? I'm in Tasmania, up where the ship comes in, up in Devonport. I've been to Gippsland. I grew up in Ballarat. The big wide world, eh? Born in Ballarat in the hospital, but I've been down in little old Tasmania for 13 years or something. Don't mind it down here. It was really good when Corona happened because it was pretty quiet down here. Once they stopped everyone from coming, it didn't take long for the place to go back to normal, and we never did anything but get busier. So if you're in Tasmania now and you don't have more work than you can poke a stick at, you're doing something wrong, because our current workload is that hectic that we can't get to half of it. So yeah, there's some kind of bright copper PCB in there. It's evidently handmade. I think all of this might be handmade, just judging by its age. So that bit there is tin. So once I build the hammer mill, cards like that can go straight in the hammer mill, and we just need a magnetic separator. So I'll just either build an electromagnet. Lots of them use like a simple pulley or a belt or something, or like a serpentine belt with hard drive magnets mounted to it. As it comes around, the stuff gets flicked off in a bucket off the conveyor before it gets to the shaker table. So yeah, I think they're really cool. I love them in the extruded pile. Have you seen the way they make heat sinks? Yeah, bigger style ones. What's on the front? Very little. That's it. It says IFBF. Some numbers on that side. Yeah. It looks like some kind of locking mechanism there to maybe pull the card out. They're in these big enclosures. Probably still sitting out at the scrapyard. I could probably go grab hold of them and get the port that they slid into. I can't imagine you would have got rid of them yet. It doesn't normally destroy things super quick, which is good. It's not a crazy busy one. Yeah, I really don't know. Like, yeah, your guess of telephone exchange is as good as any. Chaz? Yeah, I'm not real sure. Oh, there's another chipset. The Vertex Pro 2. That piece is clearly aluminium. In the aluminium box. So we've got more of them. Obviously got resistors and some capacitors on there. Got a display adjustment potentiometer and the same locking tab thing to get that card in and out. I did cheat a bit while I was at the scrapyard and just munched a lot of the fingers off, because why not? I didn't want all steel. That one's another adjustment. Out volts, out lev, output level. It's definitely something audio, isn't it? Talking about levels and voltages and decibels, it's audio. got some other stuff. It was a PC looking thing that I got. This was its backplane board. How many slots are on that beast? Some precision robot solder in there. So that's a Mosh job, obviously. And this is one of the power supplies out of the telecom stuff. 10 amps at 24 volts. Gold Star brand. Exicom Gold Star. 24 volts, 10 amps. Made in the Republic of Korea. Republic of Korea for XCOM Australia. Exicom. So it's Exicom. That's, you now know what I know. Which is not a great deal about it. I really didn't look at it that hard. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought I needed to share. Because, yeah, not everyone gets to pull stuff apart like that. How long TV gear? Yeah, there you go. I've discovered a faster way of freeing the 18650s, which I know is the reason a lot of people subscribe to my channel is the 18650 content. I've been doing very little of it lately, and I apologise. I need to build a power wall really quite quickly now because we bought a house and I want to make a shipping container with a power wall in it. And I've got, what have I got? I've got 1,000, 1,200, 1,400 watts of solar and a few thousand 18650s laying around. I just need to get them out and process them. I need to make up a quick loom that can grab hold of these setups and charge these beasts up, get some capacities on them. I'm probably going to go and buy half a dozen Opuses off eBay or Banggood or wherever I see fit. The new way I've gone with opening these is a little bit savage, but it works exceptionally well. Because there's a bit of foam in there, as long as you don't go for it, you can cut all the way around. That side gives you some space, so you're not doing anything too sinister. That side gives you some space. They look like they'd just pop off. I assure you they don't just pop off. I don't know whether they're glued or heat cycled in there to the point where they're stuck. I'll go and get another one and I'll show you how I cut them. Another server sitting right next to me with beautiful gold pins on slot cards. I've actually got quite a bit of e-waste laying around that we've got to get through and process. Then we get to do the fun part of smashing it up and mulching it up and building a shaker table and finding gold and copper. Because say you throw that in the mulcher, you get your gold and your copper, come out in a liquid slurry. Once that hits the shaker table, the gold will come out right across the top, the copper will come out behind it, aluminium will come out behind that, and it all falls off into its respective place. Just separation by gravity, essentially. Usually bash all four sides with a hammer, then pry the lid off. Yeah, like I say, they don't just fall off, exactly as you said. You've actually got to put some effort into them. And I'll show you, I'll do one for you now. No, heatsink, Q-Logic. I'll do one for you with the Recipro now. Right back. Oh, they're just up on the mezzanine. So I have a lot of these. Philips medical packs. They're not uncommon. Sure we've all seen them before. If you haven't, they're 14.4 volt, 6.3 amp hour lithium ion battery. 91 watt hours built in. They're out of defibrillators generally. Some of them are out of heart rate monitors and things like that. So what I did was, I'll do it so the camera can see without cutting my hand off. Just crack that top edge. A lot easier to not cut yourself if it's on the bench. But I'm not above injuring myself with content. So now that it's snowed everywhere, I didn't take it off camera, it's still here. Ready? No, a bit more in the center seat. You can still see the center's real well attached. As soon as you hear a sharp cutting noise, you're touching cells. You got them. When it comes to getting them out too, literally just out. You see there's been one there that's been a bit leaky. There's only one drawback with that system, is if it's on your bench, you get a lot of white plastic you're going to have to clean up. We've got sick, wet and dry vacs, that's not a problem. Other one's the risk of slicing yourself with the Recipro. Recipros are generally good as long as your hand's not like on something that can't move and then the Recipro gets it and you're up against the shoe, then you've got issues. But generally, they're not too bad. Yeah, the first ones I opened, I was like prying and you start in the corners and you kind of get a bit of a crack and then you get nothing. And yeah, look, when I've got 3 milk crates and you know, like the big plastic produce crates. I got 2 more of those big produce crates that I know of just kicking around here, and I've got to go and get more from the supplier. So that's how I'm going to build my Powerwall. That's where that conversation started and went to. It's nice heat sinks on that. Heat sinks on everything, they're just everywhere. You think aluminium was common. It's not that common, but still everywhere. Still get plenty of it. Wondered why I'm getting emails and it's YouTube telling me that I'm live on my channel. Pete would have a fit if he was watching this. Why? Because I'm rough and the way he does it's not rough? Or because he likes those cells? Pete's whole channel is 18650 life. I can't run with that. His early stuff on his channel wasn't all just 18650 stuff. I remember watching his channel back when he started playing with mini bikes. I haven't chatted with Mr. HB Powerwall for a while. He doesn't want any more 18655s. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, like I said, you got a little bit of leeway before you get to cells. I got a bit of cushion in there. I don't think I even got close enough to nicking them. And where's the other one I did? Another one I did. Not even close. Just good because that one down the bottom there could be an issue because he's got a insulator right there. What's up with you, Owain? If I said that wrong, I apologise. I'm not very good with names. But yeah, I'm just chilling, bit of a live stream while I pull crap apart. Sort of talk to some of the people that watch my videos, like we do. And yeah, what else are you going to do on a Sunday night? It's a public holiday in Australia. I believe most of Australia tomorrow. Not 100% sure. I think it is. And so I'll be at home doing not much tomorrow with my little one. Are they Panasonic? Yeah, they are Panasonic CGR18650CG. I think the ones that I've been testing have been coming out at like 26 or 2800 milliamp hours normally. So undo a Dyson battery. Anyone seen inside one of them before? Normally if you push that button they'll light up. There's a couple of little LEDs there. From Wires Made, like on the edge of England there somewhere. Weird names from around here. Everyone's got a different name, mate. It's not necessarily weird. But yeah, this is a 21 volts or 6S battery. There's a little screw in here, which is a T7 or T8. I can't remember what I just picked up. Just picked up a T7, it feels loose though, so it must be a T8. Stupid little coarse thread screw. Yes, I understand why no one would want a battery fire. I did have one, some of you will remember. I was charging a 9 amp with a LiPo charger. I bypassed the safety features and fire ensued. I was lucky. I thought really quick. I knew that I wasn't going to put the fire out with anything, so I didn't waste my time on anything like a fire extinguisher. So I actually drowned the battery. It went underwater in the bath and then got soaked. I pulled the head off the shower, like a hand shower, soaked it, and then threw the jumper, jumper or towel? It was a jumper, big fleecy jumper I picked it up with. Quite easily burnt through and absolutely obliterated my hands. Luckily enough it didn't. Another screw in there. Dyson's like the epitome of shiny shit. If you don't know what I mean, like, it's just like so shiny and so pretty. And people buy it because they think it's amazing. And they go, oh, they patented cyclone technology. Doesn't matter if someone patents something. If the execution of their product is shit and made to like a dollar figure, not to a quality figure, it's going to be crap. I tried out a few of the Dyson awesome top of the range, you know, like $1,500 vacuums with big barrels, and they're supposed to be able to vacuum your entire house. On turbo mode, they go for something as ridiculously low as like 11 minutes. And on normal mode, they're not real powerful, so it's like, who's buying these things? Engineering for the sake of engineering. Yeah, some things just don't need to go that far. Like, they reckon that one of their motors does 150,000 RPM. That sounds like an engineering fail to me. Why do you want your engine to do 150,000 RPM? You should want it to have good suction at a few thousand RPM. Ideally. Like a less RPM is more approach I'd be inclined to take. Okay. Dyson battery. So you got the code, the QR codes the government can track you on cameras. I wonder what them pins are made out of. Do you reckon they're... Oh, they're not magnetic. Not magnetic's good. Tin copper, you reckon? It's jet turbine speed. It is. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's like 150,000 RPM. Like, why is my vacuum cleaner doing 150,000 RPM? Are they Samsung batteries, are they? Oh, they still got some. Did you see that? Oh, see that, boys? We got live action. You know what that means? We got a battery pack that's probably fine. Yeah, they're all sparking. It's a little bit reckless, I know, but like, let's be realistic. It's going to actually happen. It's only one row, 650s. If you had 50 in parallel off that row, you should run. There's a 6S battery. I'm asking you. Ah, let me find out for you. I thought you knew already. I was just about to say we should leave it in this pack so we can use it for something. But I'm going to open it now just because you want to know what they are. Your interest has piqued my interest. Strip the coating off. Not sure what nickel strip's worth as scrap. Anyone know? Anyone ever tried to sell nickel strip? Or whether that's good enough quality? Danger, do not operate outside of battery pack. SE, Sony Energetic. US 18650 VTC4. Need a bit close. Can you see? Try to block the light. Really crappy printing on the cell. Say it again. Sony Energetic US, so SE, US 18650 VTC4. Can anyone tell us what milliamp hours they should be? If you got Google open at the same time. Unfortunately, I do not. I am live streaming instantly off the phone because it's quick and easy, and I get a terabyte of data a month that I don't use, so I should stream a lot more. We can have chats. Yeah, these are pretty cool battery holders. Once you get to this stage, these aren't too bad to pull apart. I think I got like a whole box of these actually. Let's really get onto that. This is easy. Get a 6-pack of them at a time. By leaving the tags on there a bit, I can pull on them and I have someone to help me with the processing e-waste and batteries and stuff at some point soon. It's someone who wants to give me a hand and learn a bit about it. At the same time, they can do a bunch of processing, which will help me get some stuff done. Good point about the nickel. Yeah, I don't know. I need to find out if it's a pure nickel in these, or I think pure nickel's not magnetic, so we'll find that out in a sec. As a good rule of thumb, if you don't know, if a magnet doesn't stick to it and it's not plastic, it's something you should be relatively interested in the scrap world. Obviously, aluminium's not super exciting. You need lots of it to make up any density. Plus side is it's abundant. It sucks a little bit when you get to the point like this. There's not a lot hanging out. Makes it easy when there's a bit hanging out. These are quite awesome side cutters, by the way. These are from Bunnings in Australia. Yeah. NWS brand, made in Germany. Now, I've used these for all the wrong reasons and all the wrong things. They got chips and dents in the jaws everywhere. And they are still sharp, very sharp. Not a paid advertisement. I don't have anyone sponsoring anything anymore. I don't know whether COVID made them all pull their purse strings tight or what it is, but not hearing from very many people. I've got one to do for IC station. They sent me this cool little variable power supply thing, which only just turned up the other day, which I'll have to make some videos about. IC Station actually offered me a permanent retainer kind of thing, full transparency, of about $250 a month or something, US dollars a month, to make videos about their products. So I need to come up with some video and product needed ideas so that we can take them up on that, because that'll be cool. Those two are really hard to get out. Don't really want to destroy the cells or the cell wrappers either. See how tight they are, and you pull the spot weld right off before they come out. I don't think I've had that problem before. These poor batteries get hot too. So there's no air gap around them, like they're just hard against plastic on plastic. I think that's a poor design. These little Dysons use a lot of power. If you ever owned or operated one, something with a 30 watt hour battery, 46 watt hour battery, shouldn't really be pulling 350 watts. Now, that's just retarded. It's nasty on the cells, basically. I know they can do it, but like, use 21700s or a couple of rows of them or something. Yeah, well, we save some 18650s that can go and have a charge test. Clip all that nickel bit off. Oh, I said I'd check the nickel, didn't I? So the nickel's magnetic. Here's an old fella I was working for at a scrapyard, and yeah, he goes, his motto was there, if the magnet doesn't stick to it, it's his words were worth picking up. I imagine that is nickel plated tin, because it's just as magnetic as my screwdriver. Right, back to that little battery pack. Now looking at it, they're not 18650s, they're double A's. After seeing a million 18650s, you'd think I'd know what one looked like by now. What have we got in here? Oh, are these super caps? I think we've got something exciting here. Super caps. 2.5 volt, 100 farad. 100 farad? That's high. Everything's micro, pico, nano farad, isn't it? Put a bit of a dent in that one there. They are super caps. Series B super caps. So that's only good for 10 volts. So I need another bank of them. What can we do with 100 farad, guys? We make little arcs, jump across, jump arc gaps with that. Not at high, it's not at high voltage though, is it? Oh, there's so much stuff on this bench that's kind of interesting. That's the hammer anvil out of a Milwaukee 3/4 impact wrench. See the wear on the leading edge. It was used for strapping down ships, strapping down things on ships. And they always used it in Fords hard, but they come undone easy. So as you can see, the clockwise direction, quite flogged. Interesting. An electric water pump. Something I haven't opened before. 9-volt DC in RCA splitter. Let's have a look inside. Dropped out in 650 on the hard concrete floor. It's a good way to see whether they'll explode or not. These cute little right angle brackets would be good for something. Side case come off, come on. That's a big box for a lot of not a lot of anything. How lazy is that? Look at where they've got a bit of tape over the power light. That's where the LED is, right back on that board. What a crap thing. Got a cute little power switch. We'll steal the power switch. Quite often get projects where I need switches and stuff. And you know that it's done no heavy duty switching, so it'll be alright still. Here we go. So, it's a cute little amp at 125 volt. Oh, that's got a good click to it. Well, that's cool. I don't think that board's worth pulling out, is it? Let's do one so we know. There's a pile of screws here to get rid of. We'll do one so we know. Gotta explore these things once, don't you? At least then we can say that we've done it. I can't imagine there's anything of value in there. That being said, I didn't pay any money for it, so. I got a switch for free. Got to look at it that way. Absolutely bugger all. Like to the point where that's just going back in the light steel that it come from and going to the scrapyard as is. Because that is just light steel. Yeah, that's a bit of a disappointment. Super caps are exciting though. I should have known by how light they were. They didn't feel heavy like a... Damn, I was off on size by a fair bit. Need to do better than that. Alright guys. I think that will do us tonight. It is almost midnight. I gotta go to bed. Play with the little one all day tomorrow. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. So we found some good gold. Pulled apart some interesting bits. Seeing how Cisco like to flex on people. Oh, I really like pulling apart their modem. Oh, what is it? It's a network switch. I can see why Airways Ben thinks they're sick as well. The power supply unit to that server, awesome. Motherboard to that server, absolutely awesome. We'll see if some of these things are saleable online. I need to get a scrap bin for all my light steel because I'm going to get tons of that and I don't really want to tie up the truck. Found everything from these little copper strips. Lots of extruded alley. So pulling apart a Dyson battery. So, bit of something different for you. Taking donations on anything that you want to send me to pull apart on camera. That's something new that I want to do. Sometimes people have funny things to pull apart. Any suggestions, comments, drop them in the thing below post video. Most people will see this video after the fact. Not many people will watch it at the time that it comes out. That doesn't happen very often with YouTube. It just doesn't get pushed. I'm not making prank videos, so they don't get pushed to you as often. Anything with a bit of information in it's not as common or as popular. So all's good. Catch you on the next video. Thanks heaps for watching. Appreciate all of you.